don't know how many interviews I gave in the past weeks, but it's amazing. It's sick that so many people take their time to talk to us.
Yeah. Well, it's an exciting time. So you've got this new album that's come out just a few days ago. How's it been since last week? Like, apart from all the interviews you've been doing, what's the reaction been like to the music coming out?
Incredible. We were just blown away. We had, to be honest with you, zero expectations how people are going to react, but they just sent awesome messages and my phone just exploded. And it's awesome. We're so thankful for all the love and support we got, and we seriously didn't expect it. It's been a crazy week, and I'm still like completely out of my mind.
I can tell. So,
yeah.
Like, this is your second album, but it feels like a massive step up from the first album. What's changed since the first album that you think has helped your music progress so much in such a short period of time?
Yeah, man, I gotta say that like the first record, Enough, is something that we're not really proud of. It was like pretty much just recording demos in our bedrooms, like basically where I'm sitting right now.
Right.
And we just pretty much released it to get booked for shows, because it was always our goal just to jump on stage and play and perform live. So we just recorded something, and it's basically completely unedited. It's just like demos. And with Nightfall, we really sat down and took our time to work on the songs, and also took our time to work with producers for the first time. And yeah, we just really like took time to really work out the songs. And yeah, that's why I believe that this record sounds so way different from the first one, because we were actually able to show what we're able to do, and not just record demos and release
Yeah.
them.
What was the first piece of music that you wrote for this new album?
Ooh, I think it was Into the Storm, but I don't really remember. But yeah, I believe Into the Storm and Nightfall was actually the last we wrote. So yeah, it started heavy, and then it got a little softer in some songs.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the things that people love about your band is the diversity. And that comes through in your voice as well. Your voice is so diverse, and like that's a big part of your sound. And now you've started having features on the album. You've got people collaborating with you. At what point did you decide that was something that you were going to explore?
I mean, to be honest with you, we're a very small band, so we thought it would be helpful for us to get pushed by some bigger acts, and that's why we came up with the idea of getting people involved. And we're all big fans of all the people who jumped on our record, and felt so honored when they said, "This is awesome. We love the songs and we want to do it, and let's do a music video for it, and it's gonna be sick." So it was basically we were having a meeting with their management and with the label, and then we decided that it would be a good idea to have some bigger names on it.
And did those people change the songs at all after they came on it, or did they just kind of go with what they were given?
No, they didn't change anything. They just stick with it. I was like, for Andy's part in Nightfall, I sent him the entire song, and I recorded all of the vocals, and I even sent him the lyrics. And I was like, if you want to change a part, you can do that. I'm cool with it. If you want to change the lyrics, you can do it. But he was like, no, I like the lyrics. They're sick and they fit, and I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna keep it. And yeah, I'd say they had the opportunity to, but Rudy as well as Andy didn't want to, and they just stick with the lyrics and with the melodies.
Yeah, well, that's a compliment to your songwriting.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, we're still in contact with all three, almost on a daily basis, and these people are so lovely and supportive. It's insane. I honestly wasn't expecting that. But we made some new friends and we're so thankful for these people. It's just yeah, it's a big honor for us.
Yeah, so maybe in the summer when you start doing festivals and things like that, if you're on the same bill as these people, they can come out and do the songs with you on stage.
Yeah, we actually had a live Q&A with all our feature guests a couple of days ago, and Rudy from NSLK, with whom we're going on tour, he said, I need to jump on stage with you guys. I can do that. And I was like, I'm going to remind you of that when we're on tour. And Andy and Mike from No Breaking Rights and Caliban, they all said, let's do a show, all four bands together, and it's gonna be cool. So I believe like that's actually gonna happen. And Mike also said they wanna, if they ever play in Europe anytime soon, then they wanted us to join 100%. So I believe it's gonna happen one day.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So if you could like, if we had a magic fairy and she could find you your dream collaborator to be on the next album, who would it be?
Ooh. Do I get to pick one or can I pick multiple people?
You can pick a couple maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Brian Johnson, 100% from AC/DC.
Nice.
He's one of my faves since I don't know, 6 years old or something.
Yeah, AC/DC was my first ever show, and
really,
it was also my son's first ever show.
No.
So that was cool.
How was it?
Oh, they're always amazing. You know, you can't go wrong. They just do what they do, and they do it well. You know.
Yeah, they are so sick. I remember when I was younger that I actually was so overwhelmed by a live show. My dad used to listen to a lot of AC/DC, and he watched a live performance of them. And I was so overwhelmed by all the emotions I got that I cried as a kid because I just thought this is so cool. Oh my gosh, like the drums are like, I mean, they're very basic, but that's the thing that makes it be so extremely cool in rock and roll. So I definitely go with Brian Johnson, and also Hayley Williams from Paramore, and also Caleb Shomo from Beartooth. That would be sick.
Nice. I can see the Beartooth collab happening at some point.
Yeah.
Brian Johnson might be a stretch, but yeah. So we put it out into the world now. So maybe it's gonna happen.
That would be awesome.
Cool. So on the end of this album, there's a song that might come as a little bit of a surprise, which is your cover of Shallow. Now that's a song that really shows whether a singer can sing or not. Like it's not an easy song to sing. And you've obviously put your own spin on it. What made you decide that was the cover? Have you done any other covers before?
No, we haven't done any covers before. We actually did a Ghostbusters cover at one of our Halloween shows, but
probably not for the album though.
No, not for the album. I actually got a call from one of our managers, and he was like, Jules, I just heard the song Shallow on a commercial, or I don't know, radio or TV. I don't remember, but he's like, I just heard the song Shallow, and I believe that you guys have to make a cover out of this because it's gonna be sick. And then he hung up, and I was like, whoa, what was that? Like Shallow, like from Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper? What the hell? And then I actually took the song with me for a week, and I was like, at some point, yeah, why not? You know, it's a great song. It's a great songwriting. It's a great melody. And then we sat down with one of our producers, Julian Boyka, and he transformed the song with us in our style. And I can tell you that this was one of my favorites to vocally perform in the studio because it was so much fun. It's great melodies and listening to the final product at the end of the day was just very cool. Really like it. And of course, having Mike on it, one of my favorite singers, it was just, I believe it just fitted. It's outstanding and it's different, but also not really. So it was just a lot of fun to do.
Is that a song that you'll be playing when you go on tour?
No, it's not. Like for the upcoming tour with NSOK, it's not on the set list. No.
Right. Now you already mentioned AC/DC, and you said you were very young when you were listening to AC/DC. So was that kind of music around the house when you were growing up? Is that from your parents?
Yeah, man. My dad, he used to listen to songs like AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Led Zeppelin. I don't even remember all of them now, but harder bands. And he loves playing music out loud. So I remember, there's one thing that I remember is that my dad always used to listen to music extremely loud. So I would sit in my room and I would hear AC/DC, like only I could tell by just hearing the bass and the drums. And yeah, I just heard it and I was like, yeah, all right, this is awesome. So I grew up to a lot of AC/DC and stuff like that. And I would also say that I was influenced by them.
So at what point in your life did you just start discovering music that was your own and not music that you were hearing from your parents?
Ooh, I believe I got my first guitar when I was, I got a lie now, I don't know, 9 or something like that. And I don't know why, I just wanted to have an instrument. So I asked my dad to buy me a guitar and he bought me a guitar and I started teaching myself how to play it. And then I got into playing drums, then I got into playing piano, and then I just, I needed to do it. There was no other way. I was so extremely into music and also being able to play it and hear it and like write songs and stuff like that. So at a very, very young age, I'd say 9, probably started with the first instrument, but then songwriting at the age of like 11, 12, something like that.
Okay. And was there music that you were listening to around that time that was coming from elsewhere and not from your parents that influenced you?
Yeah, I actually got to go with Avril Lavigne and Good Charlotte and also Slipknot. I don't know, it was very, like, the stretch was very extreme. I went with Skater Boy and then there was Duality from Slipknot on my,
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so these were the first bands. It was back in the days when you were actually sitting in front of the TV, MTV music, and waiting for the actual videos to come on.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Green Day, like a very wide stretch from pop to pop punk to metal and Korn also. So very diverse also.
But I know that people that are in the metal scene, they don't listen to metal all the time. So what do you listen to when you just want to like chill out?
There's a very cool band I've just discovered. It's called Normandy.
Like Normandy in France.
Yeah. Normandy. Yeah. So these guys are insane, and the latest record they've released is just incredible. But also Paramore. I still listen to a lot of Paramore because I believe like the older albums, All We Know Is Falling, like the first one they've released, it's great music and I really like it. I grew up with it and I still stick with it. So I'd go with a new band, and then there's still a lot of Paramore going on.
What new music have you discovered recently that you were excited about? Any other bands?
It's actually very hard to me to dive into new bands. NSOK, I mean, I haven't really listened to NSOK before. We actually shared the management and went to the studio with their guitarist and stuff. And I've seen them live, and these guys are insane. Like, seriously, I really mean that. It's very hard to convince me when it comes to live, but these guys really blew off the roof. It was very, very good. So I'd also go with the NSOK.
Cool. It's good to find out from new artists what other bands they're getting excited about at the same time, you know. Tell me about some of the themes quickly on this album. I know that it's a very personal album lyrically for you as well. What can you tell me about the lyrical themes?
You know, by the time I wrote this record, lyrically, I was going through a very, very tough time. It was also a time in which I took a social media break because you could say I pretty much hit rock bottom again. I was going through a lot of shit, and I just needed to find a way to express it. So I basically just sat down with my acoustic guitar a lot, or with my piano, and just sat down and recorded stuff. So I'd say that it's 90% about my struggle with depression, and it's 10% about like political stuff that was also going on by the time we were writing the record here in Germany. So yeah, it's very, very, very personal. And I honestly, I wrote this record for myself. I had no clue that 1.5 years later we would sign to Napalm, right? It was just like, I'm just gonna write songs, and didn't really think about where they'll be released, because right now they're spread all in the world. You know, it's crazy. And yeah, that's why it's very, very personal and honestly written.
Yeah. So do you ever get to a point where you write something down and it's so personal you kind of question whether you actually want to put it out into the world? It must be tough.
Yeah. I actually changed lyrics for every song for about 5 times or something like that. I was very, very much struggling with the lyrics. Secrets is a song with which I struggled a lot to whether or not I want to release it, because it's about my relationship that I have with my mother, and growing up with an alcohol addicted mother. And so that was like one thing that I was actually thinking, like, I don't know. I mean, it's honest, and it's really what I feel and what I wanted to say. And it was actually the first time I was able to open up and be honest about it, and actually express exactly what I wanted to say. But at the end of the day, the songs which helped me personally when I was a teenager were the songs which were completely written honestly and out of a situation someone was struggling with. So that's one argument why I said I cannot like take it away from the record, because it is as a whole, it just fits, and it's honest, and it is what it is, and I can't change it, and it's still a part of my history whether or not I'm going to release it. So I stick with it, and it's on the record. So, but also Why and Deadline are very extremely diving into my mind, and very personal. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. And
yeah, but I think your fans will really appreciate that. They'll see the honesty in it and the authenticity in it. And like you say, music's helped you in the past, and moving forward, your music, if your music even helps one person get through something, then it's all worthwhile, really. And it's brave of you, but it's also hard for you, because you're going to have to go out time and time again singing these songs in front of people. And maybe it's from a chapter that you've moved away from, but there's always that reminder. But then it can also help you realize that you've come through it.
Yeah, 100%. I believe that it's very helpful for my healing process to force myself to go through it over and over again, and to speak it out, to shout it out, to go through all these emotions, so that hopefully one day I will sing the songs without actually having to deal with the actual emotions, and just sing it out loud, you know, without going through all the shit over and over again. yeah, it's a part, it's a kind of self-therapy, and it is a part of my healing process. So I believe it's good the way it is.
Yeah, right. One last question, and this is something that we often end our videos with. You've probably heard of fantasy football, but we're going to play fantasy rock band. So you can choose from any point in history, alive or dead. You can choose a singer, guitarist, bass player, drummer, keyboard if you want. Who would you put together in your fantasy rock band?
Oh man, what the hell? Oh, I need some time to think about it.
Well, you don't have to think too much about it. Just the names that
Oh.
come to mind first.
All right, I'm gonna go with Freddie Mercury. You know what? What would be very cool if just like the 1990 AC/DC with band would just be joined by Freddie Mercury. I believe that would be some very weird mixture, but I would love to see that. Man, I don't know. I can't pick. I mean, the corn bassist, I don't have his name right now, but I would go with him, and then I would pick Joey Jordison for drums, and then Angus Young for guitar, of course, and then Freddie Mercury for vocals. I'm gonna go with this.
I'm trying to picture that in my head now. That's pretty insane.
That would be sick. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Okay, and maybe a duet with yourself. You can jump on stage.
I would just love to sit in the first row and just go like this. Just go ahead and play.
Amazing. Well, I've got to congratulate you on the album. It's fantastic, and like I say, so diverse, and it's got a really good sound to it, and your vocals are obviously amazing. I'm sure everybody's telling you that.
Thank you.
But we look forward to you getting over this side of the Atlantic, hopefully sometime soon. But in the meantime, thanks for spending some time with me. It's been really nice chatting with you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, Steve, for taking your time to talk about me and our music. It's very important, and we do not take that for granted. I really mean that. So yeah, thank you so much. And hope you have a beautiful rest of the day.
You too. Thanks, Jules.
Thank you, mate.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.